Okay, good morning folks, Tim Tunnicliffe here. Second stop of the day on day 34 of the Great Rugger Run. And I'm here at the magnificent Richmond Rugby Club. Amazing playing surface out there. It's quite windy today, so we're going to be doing most of this inside. Let's go and have a little wander over here, see if we can find to talk to. Hello Steve, how are you?
Hi, very well, thank you.
What's your full name and what do you do here at Richmond?
So I'm Steve Hill, I'm Director of Rugby at Richmond Rugby Club.
Good stuff, and how long have you been doing that for, Steve?
So this is my 12th season, so I've been here a while.
That's a long time for a DOR. How do you keep things fresh?
I think the players keep it fresh. You know, I mean, I think it's every year has a different challenge. I mean, the last 18 months have been the biggest challenge of all. With COVID, we had to play through COVID. But no, you go out and get new ideas. I mean, I think the players bring a lot of the freshness by their attitudes and their ambition. So I have no difficulties keeping it fresh.
Yeah, good stuff. And tell me a little bit about the current first team squad. You know, what are the kind of the strengths and how do you guys like to play?
Yeah, I mean, we're currently playing in the championship. I mean, last season we finished at the bottom of the championship. After 4 games this year, we're joint top, so that's a bit of a turnaround. Although we've only played 4 games so far, so yeah, I mean, we've had a number of players have joined us, which has been great. But we like to play an expansive style. We like to play a style of rugby that the players enjoy, training and on matches that our crowd likes to see. And I think that seems to be a bit of a trend, in both the Premiership and the Championship this season, and hopefully that'll continue. So that's really good.
I completely agree. It's good to see because I think enjoyment's such a massive part of it, and at various points during the professional age, I think it's drifted away a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we're very clear here at Richmond what we're about, and we're about people enjoying their rugby experience. So whether it's starting in the first team away at Cornish Pirates, or if it's playing for the 5th team, away against Dorking Fourths, it's got to be an enjoyable experience because that way they'll come back to it. So, training is really meaningful. We have a lot of coaches. We're very lucky with our facilities. We've got 3 floodlit pitches people can use on a Tuesday and Thursday. If you come down and enjoy it, then you'll stay, and that's the key thing. And the great thing is, after the game, doesn't matter which team you play for, we're all Richmond Rugby players together, and we enjoy our Saturday nights together. So that's a key part of what we're about.
Yeah, I've got a lot of former teammates that have come here and stayed here, and I'm guessing that what you've just said there is a big reason for that.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, I'm just the latest sort of incumbent in terms of direct rugby, but we go on tour every year. I mean, I don't know any other championship club or even National One club that does that. And for us, that's a key part of our season. All the teams work towards that tour at the end of the season because, I look back on my playing career, I can't tell you where, my team's finished in the league, but I can remember going on tour to America or to France or to Cornwall and places like that. So, we're very much about, sort of making those memories, and touring is a great chance to do that.
Definitely. And how many what are the numbers? What sort of size is the tour that you've been on recently?
Well, I mean, it sounds a bit of a boast. Our last tour was to Buenos Aires, and we took 72 on the same plane, which was a bit being in charge of that was a challenge, as you can imagine. But it was fantastic. We took the heavies, which is our vets section. They brought about sort of 30 guys, and there was 40 guys from the rest of the squad. But we had a fantastic 10 days in Buenos Aires, but we tend to go short and then long. The year before that, we sort of went across to Barcelona, which is a fantastic touring venue. So yeah, I mean, there are plans afoot at the end of this season, somewhere in Europe, I think, because of the travel restrictions. But I think a big tour in the next 2 or 3 years definitely, because it gets people excited. People do league rugby week in, week out. But I mean, getting involved in fundraising and organising the tour is a really important way of bringing everybody together within the club. The board, the players, managers, and whatever else. So that's a key part of what we're about.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so what are you hoping for? What are your ambitions for the rest of this season and beyond?
I mean, we want to win some more games. We've won our 2 home games. We want to start winning away now. I think if we finish mid-table in the current championship, that'd be a fantastic improvement on last season. We've got a relatively young and inexperienced side at championship level, and I can see over the next 2, 3, 4 years, this squad getting better and better. So I think that's the real ambition, to just keep moving forward and improving.
Yeah, good stuff. Steve, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Coming down
Nice
to see
to
me.
see you.
Let's go and find some other people to talk to. Who's over here? Are you chaps ready for a quick conversation?
Yeah, we're together.
Okay.
Of course we will. Yeah, let's do it.
Who have we got here? We've got Peter and John. Could you introduce yourselves, please, fellas?
Yeah, I'm Peter Moore. I'm a director of the club and been involved for the last 25 years, sort of on the administrative side in various capacities.
Hi, my name's John Heaton. I'm chairman of the Richmond Football Club, and I joined the club in 1983 as a player.
Good stuff. And what position were you, John?
I was a centre, a very old one when I joined, I'm afraid.
Good stuff. So tell me a little bit about the history of the club, because I know there's some long history involved here at Richmond.
The club was founded in 1861 and we believe is the second oldest club in the world and was one of the founding members of the RFU some years later. So it's got a long history with lots of various things over the years that have been memorable from a club point of view. Lots of internationals played for England. We were one of the first clubs to go professional back in 1996 and 3 years later had some difficulties financially and went into administration when our backer pulled out. But since then, we've built the club back up and based on a lot of traditional values, really. And it's most important for us to maintain our independence and hopefully self-sustainability and provide an opportunity for a lot of guys to play rugby, to get better and to have some fun.
Good stuff. And John, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important that we do regard ourselves as a community rugby club, but providing rugby at the highest level we can. And we have during the week up to 120 senior men training. We have up to 50 or 60 women training, and then huge numbers of minis and youth on a Sunday. So it's a thriving club and we've got lots of playing members.
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, I was fortunate enough to play against you guys a number of times over the years. When you're flying back up through the leagues, it was always good to play here. And in fact, I think out here was the heaviest defeat that I was ever personally involved in. I think we brought Old Coffee in and we lost something like 98-5.
Well, in those days, we won 81 consecutive league matches from on the way back up, starting at level 9 all the way up to, I think we got to level with, in fact, interestingly, we lost the first match, but we don't talk about that.
Who was that against?
London Scottish.
Oh, really? No wonder you don't talk about it. Good stuff. And what are your ambitions in terms of the club moving forward?
Well, I think we'd like to stay in the Championship. We'd like to be in the top half of the Championship. I think I can say that, Steve, can't I?
Steve's nodding. Everyone.
We've had a successful start, and we've a good squad, and we've got a lot of depth here. I think that is one of the things with having 5 senior men's teams. You know, we can call on players, even down to our Saxons are good enough to play the first team.
I also think the culture of the club is, we've recreated or rebuilt, shall we say, a culture which is about people having fun, being with their mates, being successful, having an integrated club, and it's very important we don't put that at risk from my perspective. And I think some clubs, they've split their club between amateurs and professional, they've done all sorts of things. And whilst it takes a lot of discipline to keep it as one from a financial control point of view, I think it actually does create a better atmosphere of an integrated club which provides opportunities for men, women, girls, boys, from the age of 6 to 66. And that's what we're all about, really.
Yeah. I mean, nothing gives me more pleasure than somebody starting on the 4th or 5th team and eventually making it through to the first team. I mean, you hear a big cheer when guys who they've played with, eventually they get onto the first team.
It's great that transition can still happen all the way up to the top level that you're playing here in the first 15.
And players do.
Yeah, and we'd have, most seasons we'd have over 50 guys playing the first 15 who some of them started, well, Steve's talked to them at the beginning of the season, because you might be in the Saxon squad and playing on Saturdays, but before the end of the season, it's quite probable you'll have a first team match or 1 or 2. So I think the idea of concentrating on trying to improve them as players, trying to have a professional infrastructure around the playing side as possible, so that they've got an opportunity to get better, and also we coach all the sides. Every side going down, the 5 or 6 teams. They've all got managers and coaches, so we've got a group approach, shall we say, down the line.
And what's it like on a match day here? What's the atmosphere like? What do you try and encourage within the ground and the supporters?
Well, we've a very strong membership. We're probably, we're well over 2,000 members, probably more than most rugby clubs of our size and our level. And we're well supported, and we encourage all the other players. Very often there's players. We have 3 or 4 teams here occasionally, and they're all out there cheering on the team.
Yeah, good stuff.
And integrating in the bar.
The most important form of integration. Fellas, is there anything else you want to say?
No, that's good for me.
Yeah.
I wish you well.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
luck.
you, Peter. Okay, moving onwards. Chaps, we got the mental health thing as well. Who was going to speak about that? Steve?
Yeah, certainly. No.
So I understand, you've got a programme that's available to all your members.
No, absolutely. I mean, the Heavies, which is our vets side, set up a foundation. I mean, sadly, because we had 3 players within 12 months actually pass away playing rugby, and they set up a foundation to help both the physical and mental health of all the members of the club. So, I mean, not just players, but our minion youth, our coaches, our medical staff were all covered under this. So. All of our players and members here have had their hearts tested over the last 18 months, and as a result, I think about 12 people have gone on for further investigations, and 1 or 2 have actually had operations. So it's been really, really worthwhile. But in parallel to that, we have a mental health program that totally confidential. People can phone up if they're having any issues, and certainly it was simply used just sort of during COVID, during lockdown. So I think for some of our young people living on their own in London, away from home without much support, that was a really difficult time. So that's been an incredibly valuable part of what the Heavies Foundation have put in place. And allied to that as well, with the Heavy Foundation, they're raising money to put a defibrillator into every single rugby club. And in fact, we actually had at Ealing Rugby Club only a month ago that was actually used on the pitch of one of their players. So it's been a fantastic innovation by that section of the club. We had a lunch last Friday, 500 people fundraising lunch in London. Again, it raised a huge amount of money. So that community part of the rugby club is really important here at Richmond, and that's just another way that we're trying to support each other.
Brilliant, great stuff.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to add?
No, not at all. Just your very best of luck, and enjoy the run around the rest of South East London.
Good man.
All right, all the best.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Steve. Okay, that is Richmond Rugby Club finishing up here now. Going to pop over to Scottish and then London Welsh afterwards before heading on for the rest of the day. It's brightening up a little bit outside. It looks like it's getting a bit warmer, so it should be good to move on. Don't forget, this is all for mental health charities that are involved within rugby union. So if you can share, please do. If you can donate, please do. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.